Hello everybody, and welcome back to a brand new, long-awaited episode of Edbrooke. So yeah, it's obviously been a while. Basically what happened is, I was supposed to focus on transit in this episode, and that is what happened, but the main project was supposed to be the metro yard, and I bit off a bit more than I can chew, and I took on too many projects. I built more stations. I did too much. I did some residential stuff and kind of little projects here and there that really affected the time. Not only that, but I also had school and stuff and busy time currently. So, yeah. Anyways, the goal of this episode was to create the transit depots, basically, like the metro yard. And you could see me starting it right here. I had this idea for a long time now, and I did do it, like, as you can see by the name of the episode. But, it did take a while to perfect. I went, like, through 3 different variations of it, and here, yeah, you could see the actual depot. I saw Bisquickelhausen. He did a very similar thing, and I really liked how he did it, so tried doing the same thing. Overall, I think it turned out really nice, and although we don't have the single tracks out yet, there's still room for expansion, but I think I made it work. It was pretty heavily inspired from Bisquickelhausen's creation of the metro yard. I've been planning this for a while, even before his episode came out, but I wasn't sure how I wanted to execute it, and Bisquickelhausen did a really good job at it, and I'd really recommend checking his video out on the metro yard. He has way more knowledge in it than I probably ever will. Yeah. There's many different things we did this episode. You'll see all of them if you watch the whole video. But another reason why the video was late is because I really tried improving the quality of this video for you guys. I figured out the whole 16:9 ratio. There's a surprise at the end, so please do stay tuned. And overall, I think I tried harder on this episode, and I really do think that I did a better job at it than usual. In terms of resolution and frame rate, I'm not too sure how much better those have gotten. You guys, please do let me know. But yeah, those hopefully should have gotten at least a bit better. So yeah, how about I talk about what I'm actually doing here. I found the props of the metros that I'm using, the M5 metro, as well as the R50 something and R60 something. New York metros, also by Bisquickelhausen. He's really good at all this transit stuff, and I wish I could be as good of a 3D modeler and transit professional as him. I've always had a fascination in trains, but I don't know if I'll ever have the knowledge of Bisquickelhausen. So yeah, and all I'm doing really is I'm filling up the yard with these props. I'm trying to randomize it at least a little bit, the size and the kind of the construct of each train, but trying to keep it like in a pattern almost at the same time. I did look at a few pictures of subway yards. There's I think it was the Greenwood yard or something. There's like this really big metro yard in Toronto, but I don't remember its name exactly. Yeah. So I do have some plans for the next episode, but I'm not too sure what we're gonna do. I have an idea that not necessarily I want to do next episode, but I wanted to know what you guys feel on like a spaceport or something, like a landing pad or launch pad, something like that, like kind of SpaceX stuff. I might even try to model a little bit. There should be a little survey that popped up from the top right corner of the screen. Please do answer that. That'd be nice. Anyways, yeah. So here is I'm trying to do something for the tram depot, because you know I wanted a tram line either way. I had an LRT thing planned, and I even I started modeling. I had it down. I was all the way onto texturing, but I kind of gave up. I don't think I did the model right. There are so many bugs with it. I don't think the mesh I did right. So we're gonna stick to trams. Trams, not the best thing. All the tracks have to connect to each other, which is what I don't like about it. I wish the tram tracks were more like train tracks, but they're not. So, whatever. I ended up placing this return depot too, cause that's how the trams will basically turn around at the end of the line. Yeah, I do have a little turnaround point at the end of the street, but that's very temporary because that street is obviously going to be extended. I found this really cool train wash kind of prop set on the workshop, and I'm pretty sure I placed it down at the tram depot as well as this next thing we're building here. Now, in terms of what we are building here, this is a train transit facility, basically designed for commuter trains mostly, but I think it can accept freight trains as well. It was supposed to be based off Willowbrook Yard in Toronto. It's a maintenance facility for Go Transit, but unfortunately the buildings like they have at Willowbrook Yard, I couldn't find anything like that on the workshop. It's basically like this main warehouse, and then there's this kind of cover extending out from it where the trains park under and they get inspected and everything like that. They're also, because the trains we're using here, that I'm mainly going to be using on our train lines, is the Go Transit KISS variation. It's an electric train because Go Transit is going to be electrifying their rail lines in the future, but also because the city is set in the near future and you don't really want too many gas powered things, which is also why I went through the whole vehicle collection and I tried to get more modern vehicles that I could find. There's a lot of Teslas. There were 3 Teslas I could find, so I added those, and those are basically making up the main vehicle roster thing of our city. So yeah, that's the main warehouse there I could find. I went into the asset creator and I edited it so it's a bit better, because it was taking up an extra two units of space when it really shouldn't be, and it had too many of these props I didn't like, so I removed them and, I don't know, made it better, I guess. I made this little kind of roundabout thing that goes around the roundhouse. The roundhouse is really cool. It's by Avania. I would recommend getting it if you're a train fan. So yeah, surface painter again, I forgot to mention, but that's another reason why this took longer. I had more problems with surface painter, and it's really annoying because when it happens, it kind of makes me really angry, and it also makes me kind of want to give up on the game, and I really don't want to give up on the game. What happens, for those that don't know, is so you have all these painted surfaces and then they all disappear, and basically I could almost prevent it this time from happening, because what happened was I started, when you know it's gonna, all your surfaces gonna disappear, is when you place a prop down, and all of a sudden all the painted surfaces around it disappear. And that's what started happening. So there's this button in the Surface Painter option menu that says update whole map, and you know, I pressed it because I thought that would kind of refresh everything, and it would like help to kind of, I don't know, set the surfaces in place. But that just removed all of them. I don't know what happens, but it makes me really angry, and I don't want it to happen again. I really hope they fix it. Maybe it's mod conflict, because I haven't heard of many people getting the same problem. If you know what's going on, please do let me know. But yeah. And then I didn't just want to put down the go transit cars. I did also put some other commuter vehicles down. And then, yeah, and then here's the actual tram yard, little facility thing. It's not functional. If I find some tram props, I might put them down there. But it's basically meant to be just a little kind of siding, almost, for them to go. And there's Surface Painter. I cut out the whole part with me dealing with Surface Painter. It took a couple hours to paint all the surfaces again. It's really annoying. And yeah, here's the train wash I was talking about earlier. It has spinning brushes. It seems that people are now finding out how to move things, because I think it's the rotor shader what is letting them animate the textures, because the rotor shader also supports transparency, but it's called the rotor, you know, rotor, rotation, that sort of thing. And Ronix was talking about that. He was saying that when you put it on a vehicle, for example, it starts moving, like all the windows that he made transparent, and that's kind of what I'm assuming is doing the moving. And there you saw me a second ago doing this sort of little DMV thing. I plopped down this police station because there wasn't enough coverage, and that was one of the little projects I did on the side. And detailing, yeah, I also did quite a bit of detailing in this episode. I started making this little yard here for the emergency vehicles. I'm gonna put them down later. I really jump around a lot in this episode, but yeah. So what are we doing now? I'm not sure. Oh yeah, I built a key next to the subway yard because it's, I don't know, just having terrain there didn't seem right if it's such a like a modern, I guess, facility. It looked more proper and more clean. That's why I did that. And oh my god, I was talking about plopping, I mean, what I'm going to be doing for the next episode, yet I failed to actually mention what we're doing for the next episode, most likely. I think we're going to start working on the industrial area. I don't know, I didn't think that really warrants a surprise, because it's an industrial area. What are you going to do? I'm not going to say exactly what we're going to do, that's this big surprise, but I really do want to get started on the industrial area because we barely have any industrial buildings, and you have tons of just cars and trucks flowing into them. Like these, the two transit, the two maintenance depots, those are both industrial, and you get I have so many trucks flowing to there now, and yeah. And then I go kind of crazy with the decals and with the foliage, but the decals I think turned out nice. They kind of smoothed the whole Surface Painter things out. I really do want to get to that riverbed eventually. I haven't detailed it that much, but we'll do something with it. And yeah, those are the textures I'm talking about. It's also by Ronix, I think. He came out with the theme decals, and they're really cool. Basically, he has a whole set of decals. There's like dirt, sand, grass, or whatever, all the textures, and he made them into decals. So they're decals, but specifically tailored to the theme you're using, because they're pulling the texture right from the theme. And yeah, here I start really going into that whole residential thing. As you can see, I went crazy with projects. And this whole thing is probably over, I don't know, a month or two, because I kept taking breaks from this. And I don't know, has it really been that long? A month? I'll have to double check that later. So yeah, I placed down a bunch of buildings and parks, and I did put some transit lines through. I found these cool modern apartments with bitumen, I don't know how to pronounce it, bitumen roofs, I guess, on the workshop. Somebody made them recently, and I think they're really cool, actually. I put them into Rico. I made them all level 5 because, in my opinion, that's it's some high level housing. The lower level housing is going to be the low residential, the suburbs. And speaking of the suburbs, I don't know if I want to stick with American Eclectic. I heard there are some modern houses on the workshop, so I'll have to take a look at that. So, to you guys, it's only going to seem like a second went by right now, but as soon as I said the thing about the modern houses, I went on the workshop, and I found that there are only, like, one or two, like, actual good modern houses by Engon, but they're not actually by Engon because, well, they are by Engon. They were, I don't know what happened to Engon. I think he deleted his account or something, because all his stuff has been re-uploaded by somebody else. But Engon had some really good buildings. I'm not sure why, why he left or whatever. Maybe he didn't leave, maybe he got hacked. I don't know. I haven't done my research, so yeah. And then here I'm messing with some transit lines. Buses are so far the most used thing in the city. I want to change that to be metro and train, preferably, because I think what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to make buses slightly more expensive than metros and trains to encourage people to use the metros and trains. I want to get, like, as much traffic as I can off of the roads. That's the goal. And yeah, and then here I'm placing down more of those modern apartments. And then I placed down these educate schools because they weren't happy. And actually, I'm pretty sure that nearly all the buildings except those modern apartments are by Vlad X Ladesh. He's this guy on the workshop who he makes these really cool modern buildings, like all the ones you saw. Those are probably by him. Not probably, they are by him. But these details are not by him. These are by Joak. Yeah, Joak. Joak. They're really good. They're like these modern kind of props. And then yeah, I was thinking about maybe making some cover with those wooden beams, but ultimately I decided not to because it just no point. The cars are seemingly using this parking a lot, but at Costco, the Costco we made, they're still not using it. Not sure why. Not sure if I ever will know, but why. But who knows? They're using the concrete road, and I'm gonna need to ban the use of the parking on the concrete road. But there's no mod that can do that currently. I think what I'm gonna do is, with all this residential stuff, I'm probably gonna do some more residential expansion, just here in this area, the kind of higher residential, off camera, because it's basically the same thing. And then here, yeah, finally. So you see all these not enough services signs. I've been trying for so long to get them away. Like every single episode, I couldn't get them away. I put parks down, I did everything. And as it turns out, it's literally just not enough services. I didn't have enough police stations and fire stations and healthcare. Even though my coverage was great, they weren't happy, and I'm not sure why, but you know, I fixed that eventually. And yeah. So there, yeah, here's, I'm testing, you know, what's the problem. And I did this before, except I didn't get any reactions. But now I guess they decided that they just don't have enough police, even though I have this huge hospital and stuff just not far away. And I built these little hubs, basically. I combined police, healthcare, and fire services in kind of one little thing. Just, maybe they didn't need all of them, but I did that because it kind of made sense. And yeah, there's this little firehouse right there. Firehouse 31, I think. It's really nice. I'd recommend checking it out. It's very good for like little suburban areas. Even urban areas too. And then yeah, some detail work around the residential areas. I'm just plopping down some things. The curbs. And you can see every single parking space is completely filled. It's crazy, and I wish they'd do the same thing at Costco. And yeah, and I built this kind of bigger parking lot around there. And then yeah, here I am at the DMV again. I had a massive death wave go on, so I doubled my cemeteries. I kind of just stacked them on top of each other. Whatever, who cares? It just provides more hearses, and honestly, it's bad because I don't think they provide enough hearses each cemetery by itself, anyways. So I think just by me stacking them on top of each other, it's fine and it makes sense. And yeah, now I'm just kind of expanding the street because I want to put down a station. I originally was going with that station you just saw a second ago, but I actually liked a different station more. It was this station, the sunken station. I don't remember who made it. I think it was Bad Peanut, probably Bad Peanut. But it's really nice, and it's modern looking too, and it's sunken too. I don't want people to hear too many trains, which is why in a second you will see me put down a whole ton of foliage because it acts as a sound barrier. And yeah, these retaining walls are also cool. They're by Ronix. And now at last we are approaching the end of the episode. What was the 8 hours of footage over the course of a month it's been cut down to 25 minutes. And I sped up the footage by 2000% too. It sped up too much, but I had so many things that I wanted to cover that it's unfortunately the only way I could fit most of it in. That's why I need to focus on one project next time, because this is too much. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like the video, please do like it. If you don't, just let me know. Click the dislike button. It really helps me to know what you guys like and don't like. That's the whole purpose of the buttons. If you do like the video, then don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more. And if you'd like to be notified when I make another video, click the little bell icon next to the subscribe button, and it'll notify you every time I make another video. And the surprise at the end of the video is cinematics. I tried my first time at using cinematics. I don't think I did it right, but I think it's fine. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, and see you next episode.